Okay, so welcome everyone. We are in book club, Monday book club, 6 to 7 p.m. PST. And it is March the 23rd, 2026. And we're in the pubic chakra, the second chakra of the 13 chakra system that I talk about in Home to the Heart. We're with Sanat Kumara, the law of intent, and pages 132 to 140. Okay, now why doesn't this one? Okay, there we go. Okay. And if you want to listen to the actual channelings, you can find them through this yellow button on voiceoffreedom.ca. And yeah, and then of course these Zoom sessions get changed into YouTube's. So that's available on there too, and also in the newsletter. And just sign up for the newsletter and you get all the information. So we're going to welcome everyone. The room is really full today. And I just want to draw attention to this Porlana C energy. So if you want to go deeper and deeper into the heart space and all this information that we're discussing, breathing this energy, it's a real fluorescent blue. It's spinning around the planet. The galactics are sending it to us. You just breathe it in and bring it down into your body. And it really, really helps with the ascension process and everything that's going on right now. And in the newsletter, I'll send out again the meditation. So I sent out the meditation last week. I'll send it out again this week. So we're thanking everybody, especially the Mother and the mighty archangels, Sanat Kumara, the ascended masters, enlightened beings, beloved saints, guides, and guardians, and especially to Gaia for holding us and all our galactic family. So let's, if you feel like putting the cloak of the Mother around you, helps with your clarity and bringing you into the stillness. And this is where all of the ascension information really going inside of the self into the stillness. That is where everything is. So we're learning to be in our hearts more and more and more. And putting the cloak around yourself helps, posting the mighty ones, because it's really creating a healing chamber around you. So always Archangel Michael along the door wall with his beautiful cobalt blue. And then he stands in the corner holding the flame of truth, the blue flame of truth. And then Archangel Raphael along the next wall, and he holds emerald flame, and Archangel Uriel along the next wall. And you can hold your own flame in your hand. It's a silver flame. This is your truth. He helps us go deeper into our truth out of all fear, and just knowing that you are never ever alone. Your guides are always with you, and so is Uriel. And it's just like a thought away, a blink away, that these beings can be with us. And Archangel Yophael along the fourth wall, that's the magenta amethyst of our mastery. And just know that this magical Yofi dust, you can sprinkle on anything and shifts happen really quickly. So anybody that's difficult, any situation that's really out of alignment, you can sprinkle that Yofi dust. It's just remembering consciously in the moment. That's what we're learning. And of course, Archangel Gabriel and Sanat Kumara with their golden energy in the middle. Sanat Kumara with his scales of balance, and Gabriel is in charge of the massive ascension spiral. So it's around the planet, it's within, it's without. Just know it's this incredible golden energy of being grateful for everything, being able to bless everything, the good, the bad, the really ugly. Just bless it all so that we bring everything back into alignment, into the balance. The original purity on this planet. And working with the flames, Archangel Michael, that blue flame, it burns away doubt and denial. Same with Gabriel's golden flame, cobwebs of doubt. Anytime you feel like you're doubting something and you're just out of sorts, call on the mighty ones and then work with what the color that comes to you. That'll be just perfect for you. And of course, the silver with Archangel Uriel. These tools are so available. It's just remembering in the moment because we tend to freeze and forget. So if you can become more and more and more aware that the help is right there, just working with them, and you'll feel that energy of the consciousness. We're really working on our consciousness, awareness and consciousness, and knowing that the kingdom of heaven is within us right now. Everything that we need is inside. We don't really need to go outside looking for it. It's just the remembrance, the remembrance, the remembrance, and it's in the heart space. So dropping and practicing being in the heart. Okay, so I'm just curious if the drumming, I brought my drum, if you can actually hear this, because I don't know if sound carries. Can you hear that?
No.
No. So there's no audio that carries through. Okay, that's too bad. It happened, I used to play audios and then all of a sudden it was taken away. So I don't really know what happened there. But anyways, the drum beat is really the heartbeat. So you're tuning into yourself. And let's just drop down into the heart space and ignite our tri-flames right now. So breathe any color, whatever color comes to you. Usually the color that you're working with is your ray and really powerful for you. It's like, for instance, my ray is blue, so I really enjoy breathing blue. But if it's purple or gold or pink or, you know, any of the other colors, breathe that in. Take a nice deep breath and feel it in the both hemispheres of your brain because we need both hemispheres to be balanced. So feel that energy, just hold it for a moment in your mind, and then on the out breath, drop right down into your heart space. And it is your emerald heart chakra. So just really sense and feel that emerald energy, and it's in the middle of your being. It is nature, really. It's just, if you're seeing a scene in nature, the forest, or, some other place beside the ocean, just imagine yourself in the space in nature. And it's as easy as that and breathing. The higher realms just want us in this space inside of us. And imagining a place in nature is one of the easiest ways to do this. And then while you're there, just sensing, feeling, seeing, however you perceive your tri-flame. And really sense into the blue of the mother. And this flame is moving. So just let it move, allow it. This is allowance and acceptance, this blue. It's peace, it's serenity, it's hope, it's faith, it's trust, it's the nurturing of the Divine Mother inside of you. Just the knowing that she is with us. And then the yellow flame sends into that golden energy, that power, that joy, that gratitude for yourself to be here at this moment. Really opening up your awareness. Feel into that golden energy. Sense it interacting with the blue flame. These are diamond energies, the gold and the blue. And then sense the pink in the middle. This is your awakening. This is grace. This is your inner child. This is how cherished you are, how loved you are. It's hard to feel that in the physical body. So these flames are reminding us how loved and nurtured we are. And then sense into that divine spark at the base of the pink. This is your truth. This is an excellent exercise to do every day. There is more information embedded in this tri-flame. I've learned more just contemplating these three flames than anything else. So just expand that energy, really feel into it, see them feel, if you see them, perceive them dancing. It's like the eternal tango within the self. Beautiful. Okay. This is the healing, the awakening to the truth, and the gold is the action. Okay. And then connect up to source, breathe the energy into one and connect to source and braid it and connect to the center of the planet. Allow that energy to go straight down to the center of the planet, to Gaia, and just really feel into your divine alignment with source and with Gaia. We're ascending with our physical forms and really activating our heart consciousness. Okay, beautiful. We're coming into that deeper knowing of our self-love and self-worth. And working with the lower chakras right now. This is the electric energy of joy. Sparkling joy. Really remembering to wake up in that joy. And it's a practice. It's something that builds. So if you're not exactly feeling joyful, then it's like fake it till you make it. And that balance is golden energy from the root, from the very base of the spine. Yeah. So it's just we're just remembering. And it's a practice. Practice. Okay, so foundational self-love, self-worth in the root chakra, knowing your value, the sacred law of purpose, knowing we are one family. We're really wanting that to transpire on the planet so all war stops, really feeling into the oneness. And all that knowing is found in that tri-flame in the heart space. So anchoring that, igniting that every day helps with us going out into the world and just loving everyone. But we're up here in the pubic chakra, the second one, the two-dimensional, the second dimension, it's two-dimensional. It's really the internet and all that energy that's going out in the World Wide Web every day. And it's for creating a planet of peace, basically, with our humility, remembering to be truly grateful for everyone, to extend ourselves to others. And we're working on the universal law of intent. Intent is the beginning of creation. And Sanat Kumara is asking to share his understanding, saying there are many of you who have avoided being centered and balanced, and you have equated being centered and balanced and in alignment with being boring. That you want to be unique and different, perhaps a little quirky, but that is ego. And remember what he said about ego, just to love it, and it just settles right down because it's used to protecting us. So it jumps up and it will act out of fear, but when you just love that ego, all the fear subsides as well. And he goes on, he says, how you express the beauty, the excitement, and yes, the uniqueness of who you really are, which is much grander than any ego thought. How you express this is by being in the center, by being in the core of your sacred self, by being the reflection of who you really are, not some fantasy that changes week to week, year to year. So you're so many different beings inside of yourself, but it's a culmination of all of them. It's your mastery. So it's your angelic self, your star self, your human self, and it all comes together in this unique, magnificent being from this core of your being, from your heart chakra. There is nothing more magnificent, more grand than the expression of your truth. And that truth is found right in the middle there, in that divine spark. It is far greater than any costume or job or persona that you can adopt. And this centeredness begins to give you the insight to operate and create in ways that you desire. You cannot create when you are out of balance, when you are in fear, angst, anger, disappointment, despair, lack, or thinking that you are in control. It is not possible. So that's the ego just jumping up and saying, hey, the old patterns that we've sponged up from family in early childhood. So just come right, if you catch yourself in any of these old systems, drop down into the heart, into your truth, and just watch them dissolve, because they will completely dissipate when you're in the stillness in the heart center. So just drop in and breathe, and you can watch it dissipate. It will right before your eyes, but it's taking the time to do that. So we learned in previous sessions, there's two things about our intention that Sanat Kumara was brought to our attention. So what was our intention, our mission, and what was our intention, our mission and purpose? So that's the big picture. Before you came, you had an overarching intention before you came, and it's really to be love in physical form. And we know how that can go awry. So, but at least we would to know that you were intending that. So you can come back to that original intention. What was our plan, the agreement we wrote on the walls of our heart before returning to earth? So you can access that through the spark in the middle, go right into the golden temple in behind the heart chakra. It's all written on the walls there. And it's not like you have to see it. You just go in there and sit still again in the stillness. It all comes back. And then what is our intention for our life right now? What is the smaller piece? Basically, the healing. What is our intention in terms of our ascension, the completion of our ascension in this moment of now? So we really want to be in the center and out of all of this, because it interferes. It really interferes with our mission and purpose. And ascension really is us opening our hearts to the magnificence of our divinity, the acknowledgement of the divinity of all. So our interactions with everyone on the planet being really loving. So through the internet, in person, with family, all the beings. And I know that can be really difficult. So just even setting the intention for that to happen helps with it. And it's daily intentions. The Divine Mother wants us in the oneness of the unified heart, unity grid, unity consciousness. And it's nothing more complex than the sharing of heart, the sharing of love, and it begins and ends with our beautiful sacred self. So intending for that to happen, and it will. And time is speeding up, so it's that knowing we are one family, it's coming online much quicker than we realize. He says, I ask each of you to go back again and again and again to reflect, to listen, to hear, to read, and to expand your understanding of what your intent is. So again, sitting in that stillness, whether you're with the tri-flame or in behind in your temple, both places, all this information will come. What is the intent that you had prior to coming, and what is your intent right now in terms of your progression through ascension? What is it that your soul demands of you? What is the heartfelt request that your universal self is making of you? And from this, you begin to feel the alignment into your actions, your behaviors, your wishes, your dreams, your creations. So this is your big, big self right here. And it is very much golden energy. It's like an angel. It's really good at blessing everything. And when you're in that state where you can bless, things that are out of alignment and you can see it, it helps with that situation coming into alignment. So being grateful, even if you don't feel it, fake it till you make it. And this big self, this universal self, is anchoring closer so that we can get to our missions. And these colors here are like the tri-flame. So when you're in that deep peace, knowing that everything's forgiven above, there's no judgment, you know how loved everyone is, and you're really grateful for everyone, this is the protection. You can walk anywhere in that state of being and be protected. You don't need crystals on you. You don't need anything else. You are fully protected, knowing this, the energy that's in your tri-flame is within and without protecting you. If you do not know the truth of your intentions, just as if you do not know your sacred purpose, how do you proceed? See, some of the old intentions are still running underneath. So you want to really get to know what's going on because they can unconsciously be creating all the time. So if we have lack of self-worth underneath everything, it will keep creating without us even realizing it and interfering. So it's good to go in and clear out all that old energy. Just let it dissipate. He says, you're wandering around in the dark. It is not for me to tell you, oh, I will whisper in your ear during meditation, but I mean in this form. It is not my role to tell you what your sacred intent is, because it is also one of the most joyous discoveries of your life. And there are many layers and facets to this, so do not think it is just one line. Take that one line and build upon it, my sweet angels of light. So if you do receive some words, that's beautiful and amazing. And then you just build and build and build upon that. And the higher realms are here to assist us. They've always been here, but Archangel Michael says we are upping the ante. Yes, Ken.
Um, well, I let myself have, um, I'm not sure what to call it, my sacred purpose, out. And that was about, thinking about, helping people that are suicidal.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out that it's very complicated to get to do it with people because they want you to become an employee and stuff. And so I do not want to be an employee.
All right. Okay.
So that was very disheartening.
Mm-hmm.
It has been for the past week. And last night I couldn't get to sleep at all. I stayed up and um, till about 5 a.m. when I took 3 sleeping pills, which finally allowed me to get some sleep. But I am still, well, right now I'm wrung out in addition to being disillusioned. So I'm not sure what to do about that.
Okay, well, it might have just driven up that disappointment to be let go. You see how that works? So it gave you an idea, then you looked into it, and what happened? You fell back into old systems for that to be let go, so you can really get to what it is. Do you see how it's kind of like
Mm.
um, it's a way to uncover it.
Okay. So
So you
what do I
want to
do about it now?
So you sit in the heart and feel that disappointment and let it dissolve, and then keep listening because it's
Now,
there.
now are you saying sit in the heart, or do I want to sit in the golden temple?
Either place, either place.
Okay.
Yeah. If you can go, Sanat Kumara is saying the Golden Temple here,
Okay.
but I've sat with this too because this is where the letting go can happen because
Oh,
it's the understanding that of the whole process to get to peace, basically. That's what's in the tri-flame. The forgiveness of everything, knowing everything. There's no judgment. Like so you want to get to that no judgment of what you thought was your mission, right? Just get to that place of no judgment of it. Grateful
oh,
it came
okay.
up so you could do the research and find out about it. And in the middle, because it might have been the mind wanting you to do that. You see, the mind might have thrown that up, but it's not actually the mission.
Well, what it was to me is I felt really, um, how did I want to say this? I felt for the first time that I really had a purpose.
Hmm.
And So that's what was disheartening is that it was so difficult to get to where I wanted to be. And
Mhm.
so that's the disheartening part. So
Did you feel that as a child? Did you feel that energy of feeling disheartened as a child?
I suppose I can't think of anything in specific, but
Okay, because you want to figure out where that energy came from and then get down into the past and let it go because that's what's running underneath.
okay.
Interfere.
I'll have to think about that then.
Yeah. So sit in that old energy and ask it questions. Where did it come from? Why is it still running? Because that idea might have come up so you could let go even deeper
Okay.
and be open because the lot of the work is volunteer. So going to the places where you can just sit and listen to the ones that are really not feeling great about themselves. Remember how I was going to the ones that were really addicted and just sitting with them?
Yeah,
I mean, there's people all over that have no idea what's going on and they're really disheartened.
I suppose. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, so
I
maybe
mean,
it's a men's shelter that you're to go to, or, you know, I don't know. Like there's so many places, even the library.
well, I have been going to when we go to Meyer, and if I can't walk, I sit on a bench and I smile at all the people that walk by and talk to them,
Yep.
and that makes me feel really good.
Yeah, that's huge. I don't think you realize how, like, there are so many
Mhm.
people that are struggling.
That's true.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So just keep asking. And if that old energy comes up, it's a gift. It was running underneath everything. You want to,
Okay.
yeah, you want to get to the point where there's none of that running anymore. That you can, we just don't get it. I mean, there may be always a bit of disappointment with things, but you want to get so a whole chunk of it's gone. So you did that. You said you wanted to do this, up it came, and you got to sit in it for quite a few days.
Mm.
That's amazing. Good work. That's the
Well,
courage it takes to do this work, to, to go right into it. It's beautiful. I know
right. Well,
it doesn't sound beautiful, but that's the
it
work.
doesn't feel beautiful either.
No, it
It-
doesn't. But that's what we want to, we want the whole planet rid of that. So how does it get rid of it? You gotta engage with it basically, and then sit in it and let it dissipate.
and find out where it came from.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then bless that whole situation because look what it taught you. Look at what you've learned from it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll work on it.
Yeah. Good work. Intention is the beginning of creation, and embedded within intention is inspiration and imagination. It also includes not simply an idea, but the actions that are congruent, the behaviors, the heart's desires that are congruent. But we've got to clear out all of this old stuff to really get to the truth. So if it gets driven up by, wanting to do something and not being able to do it, then fantastic. Then sit in that until it dissipates, and then keep asking. Keep going in deeper and deeper because the real truth is going to come forth when that old energy isn't there. So the Divine Mother says the keys to heaven are trust and forgiveness. So Ken, you want to go in be in a state of being able to look at the situation where you see the past and be in that state of forgiveness of it all. Yeah. And trusting that it was part of the journey to get to here because we wanted to drop into the we choose our parents. We know it's not going to be great here. We drop in. We don't want it to be perfect because that would be a completely different journey. we want to drop in, feel these old systems, and then eliminate them because they're not helping anyone on the planet. They're just creating more chaos and war. So we need to eliminate them within ourselves. The doorway is love. So trust and forgiveness. Just trust everything's in divine order, and I came to eliminate these old feelings. Open the doorway with your keys and step into your new life. Okay. So SK goes on, he says, so for example, if you had the intention that you wish to send healing and you imagine that light and love traveling out at the speed of love, then you are in alignment and you're expressing your intent. So this sending of healing energy is one of the biggest things they want us to do, because if we were all sending love to each other, then it would bring the planet into alignment. But how many people are actually consciously doing this? Not so many. And that's why we sit for 10 minutes at the end of every session and send love, like consciously send love out to the world and to family and to situations. And so if you're doing that, he says this is like just him bringing this up, this must be one of our intentions from before we came, that we would do this sending love. So you have already begun to implement the actions, but inside of that is also the implementation of the intention. And so you're starting to bring it to fruition. You have worked a great deal with false grids, so that's all the old energy. Now you're working with universal law. Think of it as the I group: intent, ideas, imagination, infusion. So can you have the intent? You knew what you wanted to do. It was a great idea. You used your imagination to discover it. It felt really exciting. And now what's come up is it's going to be a difficult. So then you want to sit in that and let it dissipate. And that's the beauty of going in and working with this and asking questions and wanting to know, because it will drive up what's not working. All of these are part of intent. Intent is your starting point. And once you have established the intimate relationship with your sacred purpose, you hold intent. But purpose is something that keeps unfolding. So you want it, but as you're delving into it, up is going to come the old stuff. It isn't, intentions aren't something to do 10 minutes a day. It's really for all day, every day. But you can take 10 minutes at the start of our day to anchor the clarity of intent, but then you hold it. You really hold it. So intention for your day, intention for your week, your behavior, or what you choose to receive throughout the day, how you wish to interact with others, the inspiration you wish to receive. So, and these intentions can be anchored in on paper. They can be anchored in a app. This is the one that I found that works really well. It is a gratitude app that you can change the titles here. It's called Morning, and I found this works really well. So I have this. I can set intentions well into the future if I want. But yeah, it's very, very handy to do this. And it's quick at the beginning of the day. You can say, and you can write in all kinds of things. You can intend for, like I intend for family gatherings, because that's my big thing now. I want to bring the family more and more and more together. So I intend up into Thanksgiving and Christmas and all kinds of things, and to the smallest thing. So it's a great way to anchor in intentions. So you set the intent, but you carry that around like an amulet around your neck all day long, each and every day, as you have carried your intention for this and every lifetime for eons. So it is already embedded deep within you. It is simply bringing it into your conscious reality for your everyday activity. That is part of the reason why we were speaking about intent right now. It is about bringing it into your world and letting it be reflected by the divine qualities, because the expression of intent, your intent, which is part of divine intent, is never cruel, is never unfair, is never unkind. So it's really being loving, kind and loving from the heart center, and anchoring into your sacred purpose and then setting intentions. But if you're curious about your sacred purpose and you go in like Ken did and you're asking and asking and asking and you're driving up the old energy, that's fantastic. The intention is to let it go. So you can put that into your intentions. I intend to let go all of the old energy so I can truly get to who I am and why I am here. A great deal of the work of transformation that is taking place upon this planet is not seen, so it is difficult, and it is an act of trust, of faith. And when you send love to a war zone, for example, so you're saying, I am sending energy for the heart opening so the people of this nation are free to express, to thrive, to grow, to shift. So as you're doing that, this is how important the sending love is, sending energy, because it comes right back to us. So if you're intending for the planet to come to balance, guess what? That energy comes right back and helps us come to balance. So if you're intending for everyone to discover their sacred mission and purpose and you're sending that out, it comes right back to us and helps us. It's like this giant infinity sign of energy. And then you can see there is a change and you think it worked, or you think, gee, I hope I was part of that. They're asking us to celebrate. So if you see shifts happening on the planet, then we're to celebrate. I did a reading with a girl today, and her reading was all about celebrating all the struggles that she's been through for the last 2 years, because it's finally coming to fruition. She's in acupuncture. She's got her license. She's got her space. She's all ready to go. And the whole reading was about celebrating her, that she's accomplished that. It was really fun to see. So it's celebrating yourself. It's if you see something on planet that you notice that looks like it's a shift, then celebrate. What I'm asking you to do is celebrate the victories of the unseen and invisible. When you notice a change, and it is often subtle and sometimes it is very obvious, celebrate it. He says we do not take enough credit for the work we do. So this is part of the difficulty. We think, I work and I work and I work and I send and I send and I send, and where is my proof? And he says, but the proof is there. So when you witness it, when you see a change in attitude, behaviors, or nation states become more compassionate, more open, say to yourself, I did that. So if you notice it, you had something to do with it, and celebrate it. Like, don't think, oh, you didn't, because if you're noticing it, you had something to do with it. Take the credit, celebrate, not in an ego sense, but in the sense of a job well done. Please, we're asking you to do this. So what that does, anchors you more and more in your joy, which is your sacred purpose. And the more we are in that uplifted state, the easier it is to communicate with the higher realms. If we're in the disappointment, it's very difficult to understand what they're telling us, what they're showing us. So when you're in that joyful state, the celebratory state, it really helps with our clarity. When you send the energy, and it doesn't matter whether it is to heal a broken body or a broken heart or a shattered nation, you also have to realize that there is the ability to reject on the part of the recipient. You have to realize that you're not in complete control. You are a contributor, not a controller, and that there's always a divine plan of unfoldment. So think of it in this way. Every person, whether it is an individual in hospital, an individual who is a head of state, an individual who believes themselves to be in dire straits, they're all in a situation where they, can we say, are in desperate need to receive. But if their hearts in that moment say no, then that is accepted. I know I've been in that state. I've been so grumpy. I can feel energy coming at me, and I'm just like, no, I don't want this. So I totally get this. And it's with all of us. We can say no. And there's no judgment in the higher realms. So it is the free will we will never interfere with. But let us also explain, because you say, what happens when you don't see results? Let us also explain, and we do this as well, by the way, how it works. There are two things that happen. First of all, the energy that you send, the energy of love and healing, is never wasted. So that's always come back and continue doing the sending, because it's helping more people than we realize, and it always comes back to the self. That is one of the new rules. That is one of the law of intent. If your intent is to send healing energy, then what happens? Two things happens. It goes to others, plural, who are praying for healing. So they receive the answer to the prayer that they have been making, to the plea that they have sent out. So that the energy of love is never wasted. It always goes to someone who really wants it. The other thing that happens, and this is part of what we are also doing, is that energy. So think of it as the sun. Now, the rays of the sun is always sending out light, always, even if we can't see it. The rays of the sun are going out and healing others, and the sun is still standing at the doorway of that individual you have sent to. So then it's added to Sanat Kumara's sun, Gabriel's sun, Michael's sun, the mother's sun, and eventually what happens, the power is so strong it breaks down and melts that wall. So don't think that you do not see immediate results. That is not having effect. It is. So just know, think of the sun. It's constantly sending us light. So that is the energy that's penetrating this planet now for all of us to remember who we are. And the keys, just keep remembering the keys: trust and forgiveness. The doorway is love. It's open for everyone. The light, the sun is right there. It's for all of us to remember. So just keep trusting and knowing that everything is forgiven in the higher realms. There's no judgment. So come to that state about the self and about all those situations in childhood that were so difficult. When you can be in that state of non-judgment, we're there. Non-judgment of the past. Forgiveness, knowing everything is given. That's the key. That's the healing. So we're reminding everyone that's there. The other thing that is happening, and that is why we're so keen for you to understand the universal laws, is that energy, the speed of which energy is traveling, the unfoldment of the plan of the mother, the unfoldment of you, the unfoldment of your ascension, the unfoldment of love is speeding up. Yes, it is. So things that in previous times may have taken decades, you're now going to see occur rather rapidly. And things that have been in the works for decades or even hundreds of years are going to come to completion and fruition very rapidly. So do not stop with your intent thinking, well, I've been doing this and it has not been working, because also understand the intent, your intent is what you do. So if your intent is to send the energy, then you do it because that is your intent. Your intent is not formulated on the outcome. The outcome is the feeling in your heart of knowing that you've done exactly what you had agreed to do. So don't always look for the results. Celebrate. I did what I was supposed to do today, what I intended to do, what was in alignment with my sacred self and the universe. So celebrate yourself every day. Come into that uplifted feeling of joy. It really makes a big difference. You're igniting your flame of joy more and more and more in the heart space. So this is the blue energy of the mother, the stillness, the peace, the serenity. That's where everything's happening. Come into that space more and more and more frequently every day. Really, everything's happening in the stillness. Being a constant contributor, we're in that heart space. Yeah, the trust, the healing, the forgiveness. And just know we're not a controller. We're here just to keep sending and going deeper into the self. As you become more and more familiar with your sacred purpose, you naturally eliminate all lack of self-worth. So that's maybe what happened, Ken. There was up came some lack to deal with. Yeah. Now, one of the elements, what you're doing in eliminating this false grid, this cancer of the human collective of lack of self-worth, is the belief that no matter what you intend, it will not come to pass. So that's an old system. When you go in and align yourself with the sacred law of intent, and you ask that everything you do, think, feel, believe, be in alignment with that sacred law of intent, of which your intent is part, then you keep to that practice daily, hourly. It will eliminate these feelings of lack, because what happens is you become more anchored, more enmeshed in the fiber of truth, because the laws are the truth of God. So just keep intending, and that those intentions, they keep anchoring us into our joy, really, into that golden energy. You cannot be in the truth and hold a belief system that is not in alignment with truth. And lack of self-worth is not in alignment with any truth. It is part of the old. And then he goes on, he talks about, let's just see how much time we have. Oh, okay, maybe we'll do this next time. Okay, so this, he goes on and talks about a little bit about addiction. It's really interesting. But I think what we're doing, we're at 10 to 7 right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to thank the higher realms for all this. And thank you, Ken, for speaking up about what you did, because that was brilliant. It just means there's a little house cleaning to do. It's great. Okay, yes, Darren.
Yeah, I was thinking that interesting comment that or point that you made there about melting the walls. If you send out energy, it eventually melts the walls. So I think that's very important for the world situation right now. As far as the wars go, if we keep on sending that energy of peace, eventually the walls will break down and we will see peace.
Absolutely. And it's really being at peace in the self too. So from that stillness, anchoring in that stillness within, because most of us are not getting into that. Like it's a real deep sense of peace inside of ourselves. We've still got anxiety. Every reading I'm doing now is basically I'm drumming people into the heart space. To sit in that stillness, because that's the peace. That's what will create peace on the planet. So really getting it and then sending it out. Yes, Stefan.
Well, I have to say, and I'm sure everyone else will agree, that Kathleen's communication tonight's book club has been at a level up. Your articulation, your enunciation, your pronunciation, your choice of words and vocabulary and messaging has been on point and then some. So congratulations for that, Kathleen. It's been
thank you.
real pleasure to listen to you this evening.
Oh, thank you so much. That's so sweet of you to say that. Thank you.
Yeah, and I would say that's been going on for the last month or so at least. So she's been gradually increasing as we go along here.
Well, I'm a little slow on the uptake here. I'm just cluing in now, Darren.
Oh, that's so nice of you guys to say that. Wow,
I second that, Kathleen.
Oh, thank you. Wow, thank you so much. Well, maybe it's because we had to repeat this class.
Well, I'm glad you did.
Okay, good.
It's locked in now.
Yes, really. Okay, well, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. And so let's we'll thank all the beings that are around us, because there's no way I could do any of this without all the help that's surrounding me. My goodness. And for your participation too, because that's key. I know we're a small group, but it's a beautiful thing that we can come together, and your consistency really, it does not go unnoticed. So thank you very much.
I feel very privileged to, even though I'm late, to be part of it. So thank you so much. It's just been lovely. It really is a
good.
special experience.
Oh, I'm so glad. Okay, wonderful. Yeah, you're welcome. We do it every week. We're here every Monday.
I shall be too.
Oh, great. I'm so excited. Thank you. Okay, good. All right. So let's go in. Let's go in and let's do our sending. So I've got the sun here. Just pretend you are like the sun and you're just sending this energy out of, from the heart, for peace on the planet, whatever it is that you wish to intend. And let's do this for 10 minutes. And we'll do our part of our sending. Okay. I'm going to put myself on mute, and I recommend we all put ourselves on mute, and then we do our sending. I'll set the timer. Okay. Happy sending. Okay. That's the 10 minutes. Mm. That was good. I feel all that energy from our group going out. Good work. Very nicely done. Yes, Ken.
Well, while I was sitting there, I probably came up with half a dozen things of disappointments from when I was young. So it's a start.
Good work. Yep, that's the intent, to clear out all that energy. Good work. And sometimes we have to have an idea to drive it up, like you had. Yeah. And sacred purpose is always what you're most excited about. So if you
Yeah.
want to be an employee, that's not it. Like,
Mm-mm. No way.
Mhm. Yeah, and it could transpire as a volunteer. You know what I mean? Somewhere volunteering in the most unlikely place too. Just be really open to your guides presenting things. Mhm. Yeah, good.
Nope.
Oh,
Thanks.
yeah, no problem. No problemo. Good work. Good work driving it up. And if you can laugh, that's good too. Because that old energy can't stick when we're laughing. Mhm.
Not yet, but maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, good. Any other comments or questions or anything? Nope. Okay, good. Well,
Have a great week.
thank you
everyone.
so much. Thank you for coming this Monday, and I'll be here next Monday. So have a really nice week, you guys.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you too.
Sweet
Thank you.
dreams.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
See you next week.
See you next week.
Yeah, see you next week.
Okay.